My guest today is Asif Mandvi. We're going to talk about Evil. Asif, thanks for stopping by, man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. So tell us about first of all Evil. Then we're going to go into your character.
So, Evil, if you haven't watched it, shame on you, first of all. And if you haven't watched it, it is a show. It's sort of it's a horror, procedural, comedic, absurd, social satire show about three assessors that are sent out from the Catholic Church um, to investigate paranormal activity, to investigate demonic possession, to find out, is it real? Is it something inexplicable? Is it scientific? Is it supernatural? Whatever what it is, I always think of it as a cross between um, X Files and Ghostbusters.
Okay.
It is, but it's a lot of fun. It's scary at times. It's funny, and there's great acting, great writing. It's a smart show, and I encourage everyone to watch it, including you, Neil.
Yes, I have to get to that in my list of binging. Now, so tell me a little bit about your character, Asif.
So I play a character named Ben Shakir, who is also goes by the moniker of Ben the Magnificent. I'm the scientist in the group. So Mike Coulter, who you might know from Luke Cage and other things, plays David Acosta, who is the priest. Katja Herbers, who you know from Westworld and other things, she plays Kristen Bouchard, who is a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and I play the scientist, the tech scientist guy who's going to try to explain things through the scientific lens. So the three of us take our talents and we address these cases, and like I said, we try to figure out if we can explain them. And this is based on reality, by the way. The Catholic Church does have professors that go out. You say, "Oh, we saw an image of the Virgin Mary in a piece of toast or something." Whatever it is. Like they have actual people who go out and assess these things and try to figure out, are they actually miracles? Are they demons? Or are they explained by science?
Wow. Okay. So they really do have that. So I was about to say that the Catholic Church really doesn't play in the fact if they're going to investigate something because of the whole, spin. I'm a former Catholic, that I understand specifically enough a lot of what's done, but I didn't know that, like they're investigating those things. Because again, things can be paranormal, but also they can be investigating a saint. So they always have to have someone scientific to make it scientific fact, right? That this happened.
Yeah,
It was not a
yeah,
figment of imagination that happened.
yeah. And sometimes you'll see it the first season, like there's an episode where somebody thinks there's a ghost or a demon in their house, and it turns out to be their dishwasher, making a particular kind of sound that comes right. So there's things that are very explicable like that. But where the show gets really interesting is when some things are explicable and some things are inexplicable. So, we come across cases in the show where we're left scratching our heads, and the audience is kind of like, wait a minute, I know that makes sense, but this other thing still doesn't make sense. Was that really paranormal? And we don't know. And so the beauty of the show is it becomes a hall of mirrors, and you're sort of walking through, kind of not really always knowing what is real and what is not real, and it gets really interesting. And I think that's been the secret to its success, which is that the show continues uh, because it explains some things and is unable to explain others. The audience is kept moving forward and on its toes, and sort of in this space of like, yeah, but I still need to understand this other stuff. So narratively, I think it really keeps the audience very engaged. And I've had many friends who have discovered the show now. We're in our fourth season, but the first two seasons are on Netflix. So a lot of people have been finding it on Netflix, um, and they call me and they're just like, "Oh my God, I've been up for 14 hours straight binging Evil because
Oh.
they can't stop.
Yeah, and I think Paramount's doing a phenomenal job with some of these shows now they're creating and or taking over that has just really done well, and that's amazing. So you've been part of all 4 seasons then.
I've been part of it from day one. Yes, yes. And unfortunately, as well as Paramount is doing, they have in their infinite idiocracy, have canceled us. And so the fourth season is the last season. Even though I think we all want to do more, and the Kings, they want to make more episodes and shows, and our fans have been really very outspoken and upset about the fact that the show has been canceled after its fourth season. So we're all hoping that someone else will find us and give us another life and maybe another season or two, because I think the show really deserves it, and I think the fans have now discovered the show. We're doing incredibly well now. We're actually doing better than we've ever done in terms of engagement, fan engagement, and people watching the show. So we're all hoping that someone else will find it and pick it up.
That's my question is why, there's not enough programming out there. Look at me saying, I'm looking for something else to watch now. That's what I'm dealing with on a regular basis, right? Yeah. What am I going to watch next? Okay, I binge watched this. This next show's coming up, this show, and then you look on, you're saying, all this is old. So, and I think it goes back to money in certain ways. It goes back to so many different things now that we're dealing with, what programming and all the different streaming networks and what they're dealing with. And everyone's dealing with, the strike, then what to do next. But this sounds like an unbelievable show. And would you say, so there is definitely horror to this, X-Files horror and some comedy as well?
Yeah, I think that, I think it's what's great about the show, and what I think makes it unique, is that it's a smart horror show, but it also, because it incorporates so much comedic stuff and absurdity, it's sort of this combination of horror, procedural, comedy. Because of that, I think it really has a unique place in the genre. There's not a lot of shows like it. I don't know another show like it, actually, that sort of tackles all of these different elements. And then also there's a lot of social commentary. We deal with what's going on in the world. We deal with like the stuff that is going on in our political landscape. We deal with stuff that's going on in the social landscape. And so there's a lot of, the Robert and Michelle King created the show The Good Wife and The Good Fight. So they're very plugged into social commentary in their other shows, and Evil is no different,
Oh, fantastic. And I guess you're saying, okay, what's any other projects you have going on right now?
I'm actually currently shooting a show for AMC, a limited series for AMC called The Devil in Silver, which is part of their Terror series. So this is they have an anthology series called Terror. So this is the third season. We've got a great cast, including Dan Stevens and Judith Light and a whole bunch of other people. And I'm shooting that right now, which will be out next year on AMC. And then if anybody's in Los Angeles this fall, I will be at the Geffen Theater with Rainn Wilson, who we all know as Dwight from The Office. And we'll be doing Waiting for Godot at the Geffen Theater this fall. So come check us out in Los Angeles. You're there.
All right, fantastic. Everyone needs to check out Evil, especially me, right? Again, on the new season drops on August 22nd, and everyone needs to check it out. Appreciate it again, and it was a lot of fun conversation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, you're listening to Watch the Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back.